Hello and welcome in. Today we're going to be talking really briefly about how I do my journal planning setup. So first off, you can see on the side here, I do have the Huddle. I'm actually going to make a cover for it, a quilted cover for it, because while it's a very nice journal, this material that it's made out of is like this velvet material that just my cat hair clings to it like crazy. So anyway, in August, that was the time where I actually finally got the chance to migrate to a new journal. So I don't do journals every 6 months. I don't do them every year. It's whenever the previous book gets full, it's time to move to a new one. So regrettably, the last one that I used, I think the brand was called Poluma, Poluma, from Amazon. It was like a $7 or $8 journal off of Amazon. It's a bullet journal with bullet dots, a dot grid, and it did not have any sort of real information about what the paper quality was, what the paper thickness was. It was just, here's your book, enjoy. And the paper quality is actually really good, so I have actually found it kind of hard to find an alternative journal to try out. So right now we're going to be looking at, sorry, I just want to like get my stuff in the frame here. So right now we're going to try out, I wonder if I could actually, oh wait, hold on. Let's do, I like that better. So right now we're actually going to try, I'm going to try this one. This one is called Ottergami. Otter as in the animal, and then gami like origami. So that's this one. It claims to be 120 GSM. Hi, cat. Whether it actually is, I'm not entirely sure. So, but the first thing that I decided to do was, this book also is like 190 something pages. My last one's like 120, 130, somewhere in there. So I don't really decorate my books on the interiors too much. The very first page is my index page. So I'll put the page number of whatever the content is on that page, and then I'll put whatever the content is. This sheet here, this lovely wood with the gold foiling on the flowers, that is from, I don't have it next to me, but that is from a kind of like scrapbooking piece, a set that I found from Amazon. They're scrapbooking pages, so they're kind of like a heavier cardstock. They're not adhesive on the back, so I did end up having to buy some two-sided adhesive tape for that to stick to. So I decided to decorate that. That's what both this wood piece is and the index card framing itself. And then I just used my letters to stamp on the word index. This is some lovely Final Fantasy 14 washi tape. Yeah. So immediately we are going into what I'm calling media consumption pages. Sorry about my cat, he's directly beneath the table. Don't read these reviews if you don't want to know what they are, because they are real reviews. So Erin Smith on YouTube does a reading journal, and not that long ago she did a reading journal layout guide where she showed about 4 different kinds of layouts to put in your reading journal. And this one, where it's 2 per page, I really gravitated towards. I wanted to try it out. So basically it's just this. It's 2 blocks, and then I just decided to put washi tape in the middle to divide them. But it's 2 big boxes with a singular line to divide, so it's about a third. Divided in half. You have room for your cover art, your star rating, and then I'm putting inside information like if it was a DVD, how long it was, what was the date, if it's a game, what game, and was it a physical or what was it, how long did it take me to beat it, things like that. So, and then also one thing that I want to remember for myself in the future is like, what was my favorite character, what was my least favorite thing. So that's just like 2 things that I'm putting on there. I haven't quite firmly decided how I want to do these star ratings themselves. So, but I decided right now to just do like middle star and then go through. Ignore that this is kind of like off center. I didn't have my acrylic, clear acrylic stamping block, so I had to use a kitchen cereal bowl, and you cannot see through them. Mine are solid white china, so I couldn't see through it to see what I was doing. So they're not quite where I would want them physically. I'm also trying out this green around the stars is a stamp ink that I have. I actually have it right here next to me. It's this stamp ink that I just got from one of my websites. to try a couple of products to see how I like, and then this is my regular, no, this is the Heroes Art ink, because I do have like a regular Staples kind of ink that I have. So the reason the washi tape is here, just really quickly for the design purpose, is not part of the design initially. It was going to be open space between these two, but you can see a little bit right here that when I was doing my vertical lines, I kind of zoned out and I just drew straight lines through both of these all the way through, just a beep, beep. And I tried covering them up with I have a white Stigno pen in my box, and then I have a white Posca, and it wasn't making it white, it wasn't disappearing into the page, it was still there visibly from my black pen. So I decided, screw it, let's just go ahead and cover it up with some washi tape. So I got some new narrow washi tape, and 2 of them work perfectly. So I went from this nice foresty theme and I tripped into space theme. So we're just gonna accept that. So I have 2 pages. Here's what they look like blank. And then here is my August. So in previous books, what I have done is, this is my reflection page, and it'll be at the back of the month, and then the following month will be next to it. So like the reflection page for July will be next to the calendar card page for August. And that has worked fine for me for the past couple of years, probably since like 2022, until this last year where I think it was like May, I flipped through my pages and I didn't realize this, I flipped too far ahead. So May's reflection log is somewhere within June's dailies, just because it is. So that was a problem. So I decided to immediately rectify that in the following book, and that's what my rectification is. The title card is also my habit tracker page, and then the reflection page is going to go directly next to it. That'll just make everything easier for future me. So that's the hope. Habit trackers themselves are not quite habits in the sense of like drink 8 ounces of water a day, or 10 cups of water a day, or whatever it is. My habit trackers are actually set up to be kind of like reminders to do things. So like, I do not shower daily, I shower every other day or every 2 days or something like that. My ideal shower schedule is like Sunday, Wednesday, Friday is usually my ideal shower schedule. But whenever I do the Saturday markets, or if I'm at an anime convention or a craft show or something, and I'm moving around and so I'm getting sweaty and gross, I need to shower every single day. So that kind of like throws things off. And I track that because I want to know when do I need to treat my hair, and also because it's just been a good thing for me to track in terms of just some depression levels, to keep track of things. Because like, maybe I get so depressed or I get so engrossed in whatever crochet or hobby or activity thing that I'm doing that I actually forget to shower. It's more of a problem in the winter whenever it's cold, because I take my showers before I go to bed, and I don't like going to bed with wet hair. But so far I've noticed that it's actually been kind of a problem during the spring and summer so far, just because of anxiety and depression. So I'm tracking it a little bit more, and it's helping. Other things that I track are things that I do in terms of work or just general health. So like, I'm tracking whenever I go into my huddle book, that gets tracked. And then I also am tracking whenever I water my plants, that's the bonsai tracker. And then a new tracker that's actually added in is this Lego and Fun tracker at the bottom, which is specifically something that doesn't involve a screen. So not sitting and playing Pokemon on my phone or my PC. I'm playing Pokemon physically with people, intentionally, like small things, or I'm sitting and doing like a Lego set or something like that. I have a couple of Lego sets or puzzles sitting on my shelves that I'm going to go ahead and get to work on doing. So there's that idea. Reflection page is pretty simple. I do overall, I do what did I crochet in that month, along with the amount of minutes that I devoted to it. There's also a good section, a bad section, and then my sleep quality gets recorded as well. I don't do sleep hours because it's very hard for me to track those. Even the most like Google Watch type smartwatch records your heart rate and your movement. So if I'm just laying in bed, closing my eyes, trying to fall asleep nice and calmly, the smartwatch thinks that I'm asleep because my heart rate is down and I'm not physically moving. It cannot detect movement. So it thinks that I'm asleep at like 10 p.m. and I'm wide awake trying to fall asleep until 3 a.m. So this next page is actually, instead of a monthly spread, a lot of people will do a monthly spread where they have the entire month laid out. That I tried that once or twice, and I tried it as a tracker for like weather, and I tried it as like appointment trackers and other things, and like it's never worked for me. So I decided to try and do a 2-week sprint where I have the days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 16 recorded, and on those things I'll record things that I'm doing or like I plan to do. So like on Saturday the 3rd, I know that I'm doing the Saturday market on that Saturday, so I went ahead and wrote that down. Sunday the 4th, I made this a task to go ahead and work on processing my novels and doing the covers and stuff. Got that done. And then for copyright, I still need to do that, I believe. I don't think I've done that. But then like I had money from the Saturday market I needed to drop off on Monday. Tuesday had some things. This white text, by the way, I'm not a fan of. This is the white Posca pen, and it's not legible to me. And I don't know if I want to do stickers or if I just want to write out it myself with a pen. Sometimes the white ink pen works fine, but this white Posca, I'm not satisfied with it in terms of this paper. It's just not a thing. So I'm just recording some small things. Also, the Pokemon days will have this little like white and red sticker attached to them. That is consistent every single time I have a Pokemon play day where I leave my house to play Pokemon. That gets this sticker. I found these stickers at Daiso? I think I found them at Daiso. And they're little flowers, and then there's also one that's just like a round red face, smiley face type thing, but I like the flower ones better. But it's a set of both of those together, so that's what I have. So yeah, that's the 2-week sprint, trying those. And then the immediate page after, we're going into my dailies. And the dailies, I'm not going to flip to show you because this is a personal journal, but basically the dailies are set up where there is there's a block of color wherever I start, and then there's the number in that block of color, whether it's in white ink or black ink or whatever. There's block of color, the day number, and sometimes I'll take stickers and I'll put like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday attached to it as well. That's a new thing that I started in like June and July, and I keep forgetting to do it. So the days that I remember to do it are like Saturday and Sunday, and I don't have enough that are like the blues because I got multicolored ones, and I'm running out of like the blue colored ones for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which are the days that I remember to put the stickers down for. So if I continue to do that, or if I continue to want to do that, I'm either going to get like just gray or black ones, or I'm just going to get the day of the week itself written out on a page instead of white text on a block. So flipping back to the media consumption page, I do want to talk about these cover art things really briefly. Aaron Smith talks about it, and a couple other people have talked about it well, of how they get these accomplished. I have a little miniature printer. I think it's the HP Sprocket is what I have. I think it's the HP Sprocket. And it's not great for color accuracy or anything like that, but it's basically an immediate printer. There's no ink cartridge to deal with, and it goes onto sticker paper directly. So I have a pack of sticker paper that I have. So all that I did was I just went onto Google and I looked up the covers for some media that I had been consuming or want to consume, to just get like a pre-existing list ready. So I also have Final Fantasy, because what you do to get this size is you get 4 of them. You get 4 covers off of like Google or Amazon or whatever you're looking at. You put them onto your phone, you open your software, which for me is the HP Sprocket mini software thing, Sprocket, whatever, app on your phone. You open it up and you tell it that you want to have a 2x2 square, so they sat like this against each other, with the third one being right here. So you get a 2x2 square, and then you just populate it with your images, and you can go into your images and you can kind of like adjust where they're sitting. I tried to make Exist Archive say the whole Exist Archive, but no matter what I did, the height would be fine, but the width would always cut off part of the letter, so I had to just like shimmy it over just to get the accuracy for that. A little frustrating, but fine. I didn't realize that the Wildwood one had kind of cut off the D until now, which is fine. And then Final Fantasy 13, I made sure that I got like a good picture of the Final Fantasy 13 cover, because like there's another cover that has lightning on it, but I prefer the Amano artwork logo myself because I love Amano stuff. So 13 is going to go on one of these pages. Wildwood is going to go on one of these pages as soon as I finish it. Wildwood is an audiobook that I am trudging through, and I think I'm going to do a little review of the audiobook later at some point, maybe. At this moment, I do not recommend the audiobook to anyone because the narrator of the audiobook gave away who the villain was by the type of voice that they gave the villain. At that point in the story, they are not a villain. They are an amiable, nice person trying to make you happy and cozy. They are not a villain. They are not acting like a villain. Therefore, they should not have a villain voice. That's my problem with the narrator. My problem with the actual writing is that it takes forever for anything to happen. The writing itself is very similar to a 10-year-old who just learned what the word detritus means. And then they put it in a sentence to make themselves sound smarter. And it kind of is the correct definition, but it's not. Yeah, there's a lot of oddball words that are like, this is a $3 word that they just tossed in here. Detritus is a $3 word. And they're not quite using it with the correct definition. Or they're using it with a uncommon or antiquated definition. Like blanched. I won't go into it more because I could literally talk forever about how much I'm disappointed in the Wildwood book between the narrator and the actual writing itself. So yeah. So this is the setup that I have so far though. I have the index page, I do the media consumption log. I'm trying the medium consumption log with these style pages. I think it's actually going to go well because it wasn't too hard to fill up these spaces once I kind of like I filtered my thoughts through of what short, concise things I wanted to say. That really helped. Put some things in. I can always work on my penmanship. I don't care. But for a first try, I don't mind. This isn't bad. I don't mind that at all. And of course I have 4 more. So whenever these... Turn page. Whenever these 2 pages get full, I will add another set of 2 pages farther into the book, and then I'll just add it to the index. I will always do a spread, like a 2-page spread like this. I will never just do one individual page on its own. I've tried doing a one individual page on its own with other things, and it just didn't work. I don't like the visual look of it. I like the visual look of this. I especially like that I decided to attach the washi tape across both pages. I think that helps give it cohesion. And then of course I brought the washi tape over for the 2-week sprint. We're not quite into me needing to do another 2-week sprint because this is the 12th right now that I'm recording. So I have a couple more days to continue using this. And then I'll be able to switch over here. So then I'll be able to do my next 2-week sprint. So I'm on 11s like right here. So I could do 12 or 13 and then 14 or 15 or 16 on like this page. So I probably will do my next 2-week sprint probably on this page, depending on like how quickly or how often I return to my journal. I'm not a person who goes into this daily. Some people do, some people don't. I am finding that like if it's sitting out on the table here, I'm more likely to use it. And then in terms of the bullet journaling itself, I do not follow the bullet journal method, and this is not like a real planner. I follow the bullet journal method in the sense of I normally do not write complete sentences. I write the abbreviated version of a sentence. So instead of saying, I had nightmares and they scared me and I woke up because I was scared and I was crying, I will just write down nightmares, bad sleep, crying, scared. Like I'll write down the adjectives, the important things of whatever the sentence would be. That's what I do. So that's very different, I think, than what a lot of people are doing in theirs. I don't know. Some people just don't talk about it. Some people do their journaling for personal journaling. Some people do their Hobonichi cousin is just planners and nothing else. So to me, that's interesting. I don't know. I'm hoping to stick with the space theme for all of August. I'm not bored with it. I totally love it. But it'll be interesting to see what else I kind of feel like doing as well. So let me know, how do you journal? How do you plan? Are you fascinated by a 2-week sprint? Are you fascinated by the idea of doing a media consumption? So instead of it being a reading log, a reading journal log, it's movies, it's games, it's a book, it's a little bit of everything. I will not record, I probably won't, maybe I will once in a while. I won't record things like Kiki's Delivery Service where I've watched it multiple times, because the only thing that I would really be recording other than my childhood nostalgia joy of the movie is that the Kiki's Delivery Service DVD that I ended up getting from the library took out a lot of dialogue from the VHS version that I remember as a kid. Like one of the very first lines that I noticed not being there is Kiki saying good morning to a guy when she's running back home after she hears the weather. Or she gets on her broom and asks Gigi to turn on the radio, and he says, oh great, now I'm a flight attendant. And the flight attendant joke is cut out, and her saying good morning to the guy is cut out. And like, it's not just Kiki lines, there's a lot of Gigi lines that are cut out. And I feel like that's really hurtful story-wise, because one of the things that happens with Kiki, she loses her magic. Well, at the end of the movie, after she's, become the hero, her cat Gigi gets onto her shoulders, and in the DVD version, it was the cat sound effect that triggered. In the VHS version, it was the actor Gigi saying meow. That doesn't sound like a big difference, but it is, because that implies that Gigi himself is saying meow, and Kiki hears him as Gigi, human, able to speak with him, saying the word meow, as opposed to the DVD version that I just saw, where she still hears him as a cat voice. She doesn't hear him speaking as like a regular human and having to have communication with him. So is that like, story-wise, that bothers me, because it calls into question, has she regained the ability to communicate with her familiar, or has she not? And it's just one of those things as a storyteller that bugs me, because it's a small change, but it's a change that has plot wrinkles down the line. It's very frustrating. Also, like in the VHS version when I was a kid, she was like, she's still kind of a brat, but she was like nicer to Gigi. And then in the DVD version that I just watched, there's a couple of comments where like they were removed, so she's not sounding as nice and carefree towards him. Anyway, I got on a tangent there that I said I wasn't going to do. Whatever. But yeah, give me some feedback on how do you use an index page? Do you like index pages? I didn't really use one until my last book. And I think future me is going to appreciate that, because I can just flip to the index and I can look through the pages and be like, what was I feeling like in June? And I can just go to June reflection page. Now, I don't have to question that. I can just go to, instead of looking for the June reflection page, I can just look for June, or August in this case, in general, because I'll have the trackers with the reflection page right there next to each other. So I'm really liking that. Do you have your month as a standalone title card? I couldn't really ever figure out a design that I wanted to draw or paint or sticker that I wanted to be like the superimposed, impressive thing on my title card pages. So I combined my title card pages into my monthly trackers, into that page of the exact same. So and then I'm liking the 2-week sprint. This is usually the page that actually mostly sits open. Before I had this page, it was usually the tracker page that would sit open, or the one that I would refer to the most. I'm liking this 2-week page so far, because like I'm putting stuff down here that like maybe I don't need to put on my actual calendar on the wall. I can just put it here as like small little things that I know that I need to do, or I know that I want to do. So like I know that I needed to go to the store to pick up cupcakes on Friday or Saturday. I don't need to write that on my calendar on the wall, but it's kind of interesting that like writing it in this makes it feel like I was doing a little bit more throughout the week. I might actually write in things of like I was crocheting, or I worked on a certain crochet animal during a time period. That might be interesting, but I don't want this. I want this to be a glance, at a glance page. I don't want it to be a replacement for whatever information I put in the dailies, because then I'm writing the same thing twice, and that is redundant and doesn't work for me. So some people it works for, some people it helps them remember. I might actually make, so when I make a cover for the huddle, I might actually make a cover for this as well, just to see. It is the vegan type leather stuff, so cat hair thankfully doesn't stick to it. But yeah, let me know. Do you have an origami? Are you interested in looking at the origami stuff now? Because this page isn't too bad. There is a little bit, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a little bit of ghosting from the numbers right there. A little bit of ghosting from the numbers. And that's, I don't know if that's the ink, because this is, the black here, again, is the Heroes Art ink. I don't know if it's just that ink or what, or if it's the page. It might be the page. I don't know. We'll find out together. All right. Thank you for stopping in. Let me know how you are doing. If you're interested in anything like yarn reviews, I have a couple of them for 100% wool or, sorry, my cat's doing stuff, or majority % wool. Thank you for having a lovely day with me. Bye.